Hi everyone. As a business school professor teaching thousands of students and executives, I've realized that the most valuable skill set that you can have is interpersonal skills if you want to be successful in working life. You gotta be able to have a difficult conversation, handle conflict, engage in small talk if you want to be successful. And after the past few years of seeing AI develop, I've become convinced that paradoxically, the robots are going to be the ones that help us connect better with each other. If you want to learn how to use AI to be a better version of yourself and learn those valuable social skills, stick around. So we all know that the most important skills you can have in the workplace and in life are not coding or your ability to format PowerPoint, but rather it's your social skills, your ability to work well with other people. Now, as an academic myself, I'm introverted and nerdy and awkward. And as such, I didn't necessarily have the best social skills, to put it mildly, to succeed in the beginning. Now, I came of age before AI, and so I had to go through a grueling trial and error of practicing my social skills with actual people. And that was very painful. I've lost count of how many times I folded like a cheap lawn chair in a conflict, or turned into a walking cringe fest on a date. And having awkward silences, they were so loud, they had their own echo. People love to preach that practice makes perfect, but they conveniently leave out the part where practice also makes you want to crawl under a rock and never emerge. But you have it much easier today than I did. Believe it or not, AI agents can really help you in this area. In fact, being that I am an introvert and a nerd and awkward, AI agents are actually helping me even now. As an introvert, I don't enjoy socializing, and so I treat everything like a science experiment. And I realized that the challenge in getting better at social skills is that we don't have enough repetition and practice. Striking up a real conversation with a real person just for practice is super hard. Conversations can be stressful, they're high stakes, there's emotion involved, especially the conversations that matter the most. So just like any other skill, conversations needs practice, and AI lets us do that in an unprecedented way. AI agents from basically any provider can simulate scenarios to help us practice and improve. You can even practice in voice chat and not just in text. AI agents also let you give them personalities. You can make them argumentative and agreeable and humorous and busy and bitchy, whatever you think is best for your situation. So let's dive into the 3 best ways I've seen people use AI to improve their social skills. So skill 1, having difficult conversations. The old saying is that you're one difficult conversation away from getting what you want. So many business relationships and personal relationships fail because people can't handle these conversations productively or avoid them altogether. In fact, early in my career, I had a painful experience like that. I hired my first research assistant to lighten my load so I could focus on writing and designing experiments. But instead, her what I considered sloppy and careless work meant that I ended up double-checking her work and re-entering data and doing other menial tasks myself. So I ended up paying her salary while still doing her job. The tough part was giving her honest feedback. She was very sensitive, and I was worried that she would cry or shut down. And so I kept delaying that conversation and kept doing double work. Eventually, the frustration did boil over, and I ended up snapping at her and said something like, "Do it better next time," but in a much harsher tone than I'm saying right now. My delivery was unkind and it was damaging to our working relationship. Also, it was damaging to my own self-esteem. Looking back, I could have prevented that by having the difficult conversation earlier. And if I had had someone to practice with how I might say that, I wouldn't have waited so long or exploded when I finally spoke. So in our case, we can use an AI agent to role play a partner to practice. So here are the steps I would take. Step 1, set up the agent. Tell Grok or any other AI to act as a stubborn colleague or a family member in dispute, whatever fits your current context. Second, give the agent the context that it needs to really do a good job. Be very specific. Describe a real-life situation that you're going through. If you're arguing about a project at work or arguing with your spouse about who's going to wash the dishes, about whether you should even have kids or not, whether small or big, whatever topic it is, give the AI as much context as possible because the AI gets exponentially better with more context. Third, practice the conversation several times. Converse with the AI as you would with the actual person you're having a conflict with. Fourth, and this is kind of the magic of AI, ask it to give you feedback. Ask it to give you feedback based on scientific frameworks of handling conflict. The AI knows everything, and it can give you honest feedback, and it's not going to care that it's hurting your feelings. It's going to try to actually improve you. That's the secret of AI. And here's a pro tip. You can also ask the AI to play your own role, to play you in the conflict. And you can ask it to do the best job it can to succeed in this conflict or to resolve it productively. And you'll be amazed at the different route that the AI takes compared to what you would have done. That's going to teach you a lot. The second area that AI can help you with is small talk. Small talk sucks. Well, that's what I think as an introvert, but it's also the gateway to connections. And it can be super awkward for many people, myself included. I have had many cringe-worthy small talk memories. When I was starting out, I was in an academic conference and I found myself standing next to a world-famous researcher in my field, and he was working at a university I was dying to interview with. So he actually turned to me and asked, "Are you enjoying the day so far?" Which I was obviously very nervous about, but it was nice of him to ask. And I, of course, was trying to sound very smart and witty, and I said,
"Yeah, the day's been great, but honestly, the coffee here is not as strong as I'd hoped. I wish it would be as strong as the argument that the last speaker made in
response to a comment in a talk or whatever I said." And what I got back was silence, a long pause, and finally the guy said, "Well, interesting take. Most people would just say that the coffee sucks." And then he walked away. And of course, total cringe. Now I'm better at small talk, but I wish I had a practice partner. So you don't have to go through all the trial and error I did. Today, you can use AI to do small talk repeatedly. So when the real moment comes, you won't be caught off guard like a deer in the headlights, like me. Your goal in these exercises should be to maintain the small talk for as long as possible without being boring. It's a great skill to have in lots of domains. Finally, the last area I'd like to share with you today where AI can help you is romantic messaging or romantic connections. Today's dating apps demand witty, authentic texts, and it seems like you have a very short window to impress and catch somebody's interest. So AI can really help you there and reduce the all dreadful ghosting risk. So you can set up an AI agent as your crush or your editor. You can tell it to reply as a woman or as a man would, and you can define the age, dating goals, attractiveness level, whatever is appropriate for your context. The AI will respond accordingly. For example, you can say to the AI,
act as a potential date I've matched with on an app, respond to my opening message in a flirty but realistic way, and then analyze my text. Is it engaging? Is it humorous? Suggest 2 or 3 refined versions that sound natural and confident.
And the AI will just do it. It's amazing. It's your own dating coach right in front of you. The advantages of using AI in this way is that the AI agents are relying on access to massive data sets that have countless of conversations between men and women in romantic contexts. And it has access to whether many of them succeeded or flopped. You can't get access like that from any one person. You can pay a lot of money to matchmakers or dating coaches, and they wouldn't be able to help you in the way that an AI agent is able to help you. Moreover, you can also input actual text messages that you exchange with a person of your interest to the AI and ask it to do it better. And you'll be amazed at what the AI can do, how it makes you think differently from your own perspective. I want to stress that when it comes to dating, I really don't recommend that you ask the AI to write your own texts for you when you're actually interacting with a real person. If you did that, then you won't be introducing that person to the real you. And that person won't be getting to know the real you. Now, dating is a lot about finding a good match, and pretending to be somebody you're not is not helpful. But practicing is something completely different because it helps you to be better in expressing who you actually are. A lot of the times we're not clear and we're not authentic because we don't have enough practice in dealing with emotional conversations such as dating. So using AI will enable you to be more confident and let other people have a clearer picture of who you really are. Okay, so my suggestion for your plan, pick one of these 3 skills, copy the prompts that I'm gonna leave in the description below into an AI agent like Grok or Gemini or OpenAI, whatever you're using, and practice 5 to 10 minutes daily. You'd be amazed at the improvements. There are people I know that pay thousands of dollars for dating coaches and conversation coaches and leadership coaches. And those coaches that get paid all this money are probably just as good or probably worse than these AI agents. I get the worries about AI. It's a big shift, but here's the real opportunity. You plus AI is better than just you. AI can be your co-pilot. It doesn't replace your spark. It amplifies it. It can clear the noise so you can show up bolder, wittier, and more authentically. So good luck.